there was a few good shooters in there. Hey guys, this is my review for episode 4 of Westworld, and this episode definitely had a bit of comic bookisms in it, and that's because it was co-written by Ed Brubaker, and I really like Ed Brubaker as a comic book writer, and watching him put his narrative feels into this show definitely made this an unique, more so episode. In terms of it kind of played out like a comic book. We see a lot more action scenes. We see kind of more of a development with who Ed Harris is and what he's looking for, as well as Anthony Hopkins' character. Probably the two best parts of this episode were Anthony Hopkins when he has a meeting with the chairwoman, and he basically says, "Yeah, I'm God. So y'all don't get in my way," and we just see him have this power over all of his robots. And he says how his partner Arnold lost his mind, but he says, "I'm fine." But wouldn't you not know in that case? And then there's also the nerd character with Dolores, and just watching their interactions and how they proceed through the episode. It's kind of going on. You're kind of trying to figure out how fast are the robots figuring out what's going on. We see that the Thaddeus Newton has full-blown basically figured out that there's something going on, and that part was really cool. The idea that they actually turned the people who come in and clean up the incidents as false gods or gods, mythical creatures. And that's actually something I kind of liked as they talked about how they do the cleanup on this, because I kind of wondered, what do they do with all the dead bodies? So that was really cool. Obviously something is happening, and I have a feeling that what Ford is doing, he's got his fingers in it, because just there's things that are obviously being manipulated, and we don't know the full extent of what is being manipulated yet. Then the thing was that this episode did show is that they're gonna have to get a little bit more intense with the gunfights, because that first gunfight where they just murdered a bunch of people in town, that was sweet. And then this one was there was one where they get the bad guy at one point, with the nerd and his and Ben Barnes being completely opposite of anything Ben Barnes has ever been in any television movie he's ever been in. And it was a very standard, very gunfight. So that's something that this show is also going to have to figure out, is if they do want to stay with intense gunfights, it's going to have to get a little bit more creative. Admittedly, just watching Ed